All right.
Oh, I
So,
think we
and
can all
we'll
mute
do,
ourselves, then we don't.
what? Six is gonna be our number today. So we're gonna do sets of 6, starting with the rotations. And turn the other way. Elbows. Remember to breathe. Other way. So Ariel, you know what I'm noticing? I'm noticing you're moving from the shoulder. So put your arm out and just bend here. Just, yeah. See the difference or feel the difference? Yeah. So we're waking up the elbows. Okay. Now we're going to go to our shoulders. And come the other way. Other arm. And other way. Waist circles where I tend to put my hands over my kidneys and look at one point straight ahead and move the waist. And go the other way. Legs. So we're going to have the hip width apart. We're going to bend and push the knees together, open and back. Bend, open, back. Bend, open, back. And then come the other way where we're pushing in and back. Squat, in, back. Put your knees together and circle. So your legs are still apart, just the knees are together. Now sit on a chair. And this is good for us because one of the things that they test with people as they're aging is, can they get up from a chair? It's a very hard thing that we take for granted. So this allows us to keep doing that. One more. Legs together. Just have to let my cat out. Hey, baby. And Other way. And ankles. See, and we can learn from my cat because he only has three legs. And the other way. Other foot. And other way. I rest this part of my hand on my hip bones, right? So, and my elbows are out, so we're making the circle. And then we're gonna use our eyes to lead, looking down, breathing in as we come up, looking over the wrists, the elbows, the shoulder, turning up to the sky, exhaling as we reverse, coming down. Continue breathing in as we come up, exhaling as we go down, letting the eyes lead the way. Three more. And remembering to keep your legs soft. Last one this side. And other way. Breathing in as we come up, exhaling as we go down. Two more. Last one. Just letting the hands drop and extending your hands so that the palms are flat to the floor, and just shake. And now we'll just twist our arms, loosening up each of the vertebrae in our torso and lower back. And we're gonna come up on our toes, like just keeping the top of the body really loose and just coming up on the heels and banging down. Releasing all tension, stimulating electricity, strengthening the bones. It's like gentle jumping. Okay, so 100 a day. And then just shake everything out. Okay, so the first walk we're going to do is empty and fill. Have any of you taken the Qigong walking? Yeah. And I think it was in one of the original foundational courses too. So we'll start just from a standing position. And again, I've done this particular walk with the elderly because it's really good for balance and reconnecting with what is so automatic for us, which is walking and the mechanics of actually how we walk. A foot, and then we're just going to keep switching back and forth. And really exaggerating the step up. So now we're going to step forward and then step back. And step forward and step back. And step forward and step back. And now step back with that same foot. So now we've switched. So now you step forward and step back. And step forward and step back. Step forward and step back. So now we're going to move. And so what's important with the move, we're going to exaggerate, is that if I want to change direction, I turn my hips, keeping one foot up. So I turn my hips and then place my foot down, and now I'm in this new direction. And going backwards, you go toe, ball, heel to go backwards. Forward is heel to toe. Heel to toe. If I want to turn again, I turn my hips. And the idea with this, it's foundational for many of the other walks that is in his course. But it's also that when we now walk, we're more mindful of what we're doing. And then our arms just kind of kick in. So that is the empty and full. So the next walk is rise and fall. And the rise and fall we see in a few practices, including 5 waves and the waking the chi. So in the rise and fall, we're using this exaggerated motion that we just did, but now we're going to attach our breath with it, and we're going to rise, and we bring our arms up and one foot, and fall, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling, and inhaling, and exhaling. And we're just really exaggerated doing one step with one breath. And again, if you want to change direction, you pivot your hips into the direction that you want to go in. And if you want to go backwards, it's the same as the empty and full. So now what we're going to do is you're going to take multiple steps with the inhale and then multiple steps with the exhale. So inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. And then the idea is that as you start to keep the rhythm of the breathing and the moving, is that things become more subtle. So then you're just rising your hands and just walking naturally and then exhaling. So it becomes a normal gait pattern with just the hands to remind you of the rise and lowering the hands to fall. And the idea here is to connect with our breath and our body when we're walking, which is very calming. It keeps you from complete distraction or ruminating on things that you otherwise don't want to ruminate on. Now, walking can be a great time for thinking up lots of ideas, but if you find that there are ideas that make you nervous and anxious that you don't want to think about, then connecting your breath with the walk, like what the rise and fall does, is a good way to kind of bring you back to center, bring you back to grounding. So the last one I want to share with you is open and close. And this one I share a lot with my massage clients, because if you notice, when we walk, our hips aren't really rotating, but they need to rotate to be healthy. But we don't necessarily do enough things in our day-to-day life that does that naturally. So for open and close, the first thing we're going to do is the arms. So you inhale and you bring the arms out, and you exhale and bring them in. And so like crane, this is filled with metal. So we're opening up that energy and we're receiving it and we're bringing it in, strengthening our energy. So now when we walk, when we inhale and we open up our arms, we're going to walk with our toes out. Can you see my toes, my feet? So it's like if you took ballet, this would be first position or second position, right? And so we're going to breathe in and walk with our heels out. Okay? And I'm backing up on purpose. And then when we exhale, we're going to bring our toes in and we're going to walk with our toes in. And this, you can feel right away how it's moving your hips. And this is really important to, because to keep the hip joint healthy, movement is important to keep the synovial fluid that's in there going. And so it's not enough just to walk this way. We need to create opportunities. So the hip problems that I see with people, this really helps them, and it helps with the lower back as well. So we're going to do exaggerated first. So breathing in, exhaling, toes in. So really, so that you're almost knock-kneed with your toes. They're really kind of like when we were doing the knee rotations, right? And again, as we get attuned to what this is doing, then we become more subtle in our exchange, so we don't look so strange when we're walking through the streets. I do this a lot when I'm walking with my dogs. And it's like, there's that lady again. And it's okay. And so then the cool thing with all of these walks, I think there's 12 in the initial thing that he taught us, and then there's 8 more, is that they build on each other, so that when you're walking, you want to have, like the 3 that we just did, you would want to have the intention and the energy of them happening simultaneously. So thoughts, questions about these? Okay. All right. So now we're going to move into the walks that I did to prepare for Tai Chi. Tai Chi, does anyone here practice Tai Chi? Okay, so Tai Chi is very much about empty and full, and deceiving. There's a deceiving part of it, because if you're like this, you know, you want to look like your weight is balanced, but when that opponent comes running at you, now they've run into the wall, and I'm fine. So that's the cool thing about Tai Chi, is that you're deceiving where your weight is. So with the walks, you start with hip. We're going to start just with the legs. Your hip width apart, and you lean to one side. And then you pick up the other foot and you place it at a 45-degree angle in front of you, with enough room so that you're not going to trip over yourself. So you don't want to be too far out, and you don't want to be in so you're tripping at yourself. You want to be like a natural gait. And this is empty. This side is full. This is empty. And then I roll onto that. Now my hips are not in the direction I want to go. So I lift my foot, I turn my hips, and I place the foot. And again, now I fill up this leg. And I come up, turn the hips, plant the foot, and then come back. Okay? So again, I am full on my left side, lifting my foot, planting it, moving forward, lifting up, turning my hips to go straight, planting my foot, and going forward. Up, turn, plant, going forward. So it's like I have to go diagonal to go forward. And it's heel, ball, toe. Heel, ball, toe. Heel, ball, toe. So of course, when you want to go backwards, it's toe, ball, heel. The back foot comes into that 45-degree, which as soon as I move back a little more, you'll see. So I'm going toe, ball, heel. Toe, ball, heel. But I'm not going this way. I'm going this way, so that I have this balanced foot coming up And I sink when you move. This is very important. We're not moving like this. When we want to place our foot, we lower our body. Because if I go like this, I'm too open and exposed to the person who wants to knock me over. So I'm not going to walk like this. When I walk, I'm bending into the walk because I have more center of gravity as I bend. So when I come back, again, I'm bending. Because it's harder to find your footing when you're so far up. So we rise, bring it up together, and then we lower and then put it back. Rise up, lower, put it back. Rise up, lower, put it back. So, do we feel ready to move on? Yeah? Okay. All right, so
I have one comment, because I was doing this with John, and maybe you'll do it in the next two, is don't give it away to your opponent where you're gonna step.
right.
Be ready, actually, not to go straight, to go to the right or go to the left. So maybe that's what you're gonna do next.
No,
Right or left.
these walk, like in Tai Chi, you would be doing that. You're kind of all over the place. But these walks are just foundational to move energy and to build strength and to learn balance. So we are just moving back and forth. That's
Okay.
and it's important to be able to move back. Moving back is even harder than moving forward because you're not using sight when you move back, right?
Correct.
So the
I
idea,
also like what you did before. You were turning with the same
yeah,
step, turn right, left, going
yeah.
back.
So these are called foundational walks, and they're just about building
Right.
strength,
Okay.
endurance, and balance.
Perfect.
So unlike the animal walks or these walks, you're just going in this back
Back and forth.
Yeah.
Just to understand. All right.
So what I'm going to do with you now is a tiger walk, and I think about this one a lot. I'm actually going to be doing a Sinner Chi thing on. I'm doing two. I'm doing Chi talks and then Sinner Chi with the NQA, and what I decided to do, because there's so many people who know so much about Tai Chi, but I really like combining Qigong and massage. And so one of the things that Vicky, the woman who hosts the show, asked, she's like, "Oh, you probably just learned about the massage and Chi connection now." And I said, "No, it's from the day one. My Tai Chi practice always had this massage component. I never looked at it that way. I wasn't really even connected to massage, but there were these facial rubs that we would do at the end. But this walk that I'm going to show you now, and maybe I should just show you from the side first before you do it, and then we'll get into it. I'll go both ways. Is really about getting the belt and getting the lower part of our meridians. And so the way that this works is I'm standing and I sink to one side, and then I step, and then I squat back, and I rub down my leg all the way under my foot, and then come back up. And then as I move to the other side, I come across rubbing, and it's a nice pressure. It's not like fluff, like you're really pressing in, and then step. And it's important to not bend from your back, but to let this knee, this planted foot, bend as best as you can, because it's putting the weight on the back of you, which helps with balance, and then lets you move. And you only go as low as you can. Like maybe today you can only go to your elbow, but the idea is to eventually come under your foot and come back up and move. And then I'm going into my step, and I turn, and then I set back. I come up. And so if I'm going from the side, I breathe in as I'm coming up, and exhale as I come across and go down. And then going back, it's the same idea, and going down.
Can you show again how you walk back?
Yeah. I wish my house was bigger. All right. So I'm coming up, bending the standing leg and placing toe ball heel so my foot's in that 45 degrees, and then I lean back, then brush the hand over to the front leg and brush down. Coming up, bring this foot together, bending the standing leg, placing it out, and come across and bend. Come up, bringing the legs together, bend the standing leg, place the raised leg back, sink into it, rub across, and bend forward. Coming up. And when you come up, the hips turn. And so, Louis, this is kind of like what you're talking about, except because right here, I could be going anywhere. From this position, I can go back, I can go forward, I can go to the side. And so that's that deceptive piece, even though foundationally we're just moving back and forth right now. But this is preparing me for that. And now I bend the standing leg, place the raised leg back, lean onto it, straighten, come across, and brush up. We'll go a couple of steps more forward. Lean in, come up, turn the hips, place the foot, brush across, and come down. Lean the foot, join together, hips forward, brush across, and come down. And then to finish, we put the front foot down, we bring our hands to center, our foot to center, and then we just step out to the side. We try not to look at the floor, we try to feel our alignment. And then come up, and then we push our hands down. The heel of the hand reaches first, then the palm, then the fingers. So what do we think?
I love that one. That's fantastic.
And it's like you meet yourself where you are. In any of this, you meet yourself where you are. I mean, I think that's really important. The main thing, and this is even with the walks we learned from John, with maybe the exception of the puppet walk, is that this is the way a soldier walks, right? A wooden soldier, right? But we're human. So when we walk, we have to, be supple. And in these Qigong walks, that the walking is more exaggerated. So you want to lower yourself so it's easy for you to place your foot. Because if you are like this and then you turn here and you just go like that, you don't get the distance that you want, the placement of your foot that you want. Whereas here, it's easier, and it also lets your hips rotate out so that you can then go. Because if I just go like this, now I'm too stiff. And when you're stiff, just in terms of self-defense, you're much more, when you're bracing, it's much easier to be brittle and break. Whereas if you're subtle and you just keep bent and rise and bend and rise and bend, then you have suppleness and flexibility to move. How are we doing on time? Okay, I'm going to show you one more. This one, I've never made it past 30 seconds. It's the sword stance. And the idea is to, you get into this position and then you stare at your sword fingers while you're standing in this position. I find it's very much kind of like the cat stance and the 5 element stances that we do. And you're supposed to stand there for 2 minutes. So again, you're in a start position, you move ahead, you raise your arms, and you come into this position where you are now staring at the pointer and the index finger, and your weight is on the back leg, right? So that, again, this can go anywhere. It is light. Like you could almost do this stance with this foot not on the ground. And the idea is that you're staring at these 2 fingers until you see the smoke rise. And you get this burning sensation in your leg, because how often do we do this? But we're trying now. You do 10 more seconds. Now, when we move forward, we lean into our front foot and our hands open. And then we come up. And then we turn. And now our hands are with the other leg. So same side leg that's forward is the same hand that's higher, the one that's at eye level. And the other one is by your chest. And elbows, you want to keep them in, and you want your whole body square. So you don't want to be this way, you don't want to be that way. You want to be square. And the reason we want to keep our elbows in is because if you're like this, you're a target. Remember to breathe and look for the steam rising above your fingers. Now we're going to move. And settle back. Then we're going to come up and we're going to step back. And then put our arms up. And I'll just move us back. And back. And then to finish, we leaned into the forward leg. Our hands are crossed. We step out till we're even. Come up. And leading with the heel of your hand. Come down. And we're going to just even out the breath. So breathing in. So the way this works is kind of like what we did with the upper and lower chi transformation. So you breathe in, rolling your hands above your head. It comes out. Slap your meridian, still breathing in on your hips. More in. And then throw your hands out and your breath out. Curl your fingers in front of you as you bring your hands back. And then turn it so your palms are out, but your hands are still closed. Open your hands and breathing out, leading with the palms, with the heel of the palm down, and then your fingers come out. And that concludes today.